Hi dancers, Jess here. Welcome to this challenge group. Some of you might be in this group from a previous challenge. If that's you, that's fine. If you are auditioning this year, then it's going to be hopefully some additional support and help as you move forward towards auditions. And if you're not auditioning this year and this is of no interest of you, please feel free to leave the group. I'm going to encourage all of the new members of a challenge to join this group, and if you're planning on doing the New Year Best Body Challenge, that one starts the 4th, just in a few days. And the challenge group for that is going to be the big whole dancer, ballet dancer health group, because all of that information should be relevant to the people in that group anyway. So I wanted a separate space for this audition challenge so that we could really focus in on those of you who are auditioning in the coming weeks and months, and have some time to chat about all of that exciting and scary stuff coming up. So day 1 and 2 of the challenge, I wanted to just kind of recap. You should have been getting emails the last couple of days. You'll get another email today for day 3. If you did not get the previous 2 emails, check your spam, make sure that you confirmed your registration in the challenge. And if you can't find it, you can always reach out to me, jess@thewholedancer.com. That's my email, jess@thewholedancer.com. So for day 1, we were doing logistical things. I wanted you to make your list of companies, and I wanted you to list them in 3 categories: reach companies, mid-range, and then what we would call safety companies. You know, if you've applied for college, this is often a way to kind of categorize college options. And obviously dance and professional dance is different from college. It's not exactly the same as like having a safety school. There really is no such thing, like I said in the email, as a safety company, because spots are very limited, competition is fierce, and you know, it just doesn't really exist. But the safety concept comes in if you know someone who works at a company, even a small company, even an unpaid position that can get you in for the year so that you'll continue to move forward towards this goal, even if it's not a paid job. That is what we'll call the safety. We'll get a little more into that when we talk about an inspired backup plan, and that is not necessarily a company position, but like I said, I'll get more into that as we tackle that piece, which will probably be on day 5. So if you've made your list, one big thing I want you to do in addition to categorizing, so now you'll go back and look at the list. If you didn't send it to me, but you wanted to send it to me, I'll take like 1 or 2 more and I'll give you advice. I already got the 5 that I said I would take, but if you're watching this video now and you want to send me your company list and get some tips and additional insights and additional companies maybe that you should look at, feel free to send it to me. Again, email jess@thewholedancer.com. So in addition to categorizing, now I want you to look at your list and say, count up how many you have. If you have less than, we'll say 35, 30-ish companies on your list, I want you to start adding companies and adding to the list. Now, I understand there are restraints as far as finances go, so you're not going to be able to necessarily go out and audition for all 30 companies in person in different cities, or like going to cattle calls, things like that. But the key here is you need to expand your reach in order to increase your chances of actually getting offers and getting a job and maybe having choices. So if you're not necessarily going to be able to travel to all these companies, you're going to send video auditions. It's so easy to do it now. You don't even have to make DVDs. That was what you had to do back in my day. You had to like have a DVD made, which I don't even think I ever did because it was just, I don't know, something I couldn't wrap my mind around. I only went to physical auditions. So uploading videos to the internet is so easy now that you're going to send out tons of auditions even if you can't go in person. So yeah, I want your list to have like 30, 35, 40, maybe 50 companies. So many companies that you're like overwhelmed. So with your list, if you've not made it on an Excel spreadsheet, maybe shift things over to an Excel spreadsheet now. That way you can keep track of contacting these companies. I will get more into that as the challenge goes on as well. But you know, you're going to follow up. You're going to be writing emails. You're going to be saying, hey, did you get my materials? Did you have a chance to review them? Is there anything else you need from me? One big tip I always give is if you are reaching out, if you get a rejection, you are going to say to them, thank you so much for letting me know. Is there any feedback that you can give me? It's a bold ask. And the reason you're going to do it is because most people don't do it. And, you know, obviously they have the right to say, oh, I don't have time for this, sorry, or just like, you're not a good fit. Like that might be all that they say, but I want you to seek out additional advice because that's going to help you to make decisions in the future. It's going to help you, to know, oh, it's going to really inform some future choices. So it's worth asking for additional information and getting it where possible. So that's the big tip for today as far as your list goes. If you don't have over like 30 companies, you're adding to your list. And like I said, you will have the very strict and distinct intention to send video auditions to some of these places. I want you to prioritize the ones you see as maybe like the greatest possibilities, the ones you are most interested in, and you'll try to go to those in person. And of course, if you are sending out video things, sometimes they're going to then ask you, oh, will you come and take company class this date? And honestly, once that happens, the likelihood of getting some kind of offer has increased significantly. So it then might be worth it to make an investment in an airplane ticket or a hotel or whatever you're going to need to go and do that, because the odds are greater that they're going to give you a job. So that was day one. Again, you're going back to your list and you're expanding the list if you've not yet done that. And again, like I said, I'll take 1 or 2 more lists and provide feedback. Those of you who already sent them to me, I am working on the feedback and I'll get back to you soon. But yeah, if 1 or 2 more people want to send their list and get some feedback and additional companies that maybe you'll look at, I'm happy to provide that. And then day 2 was defining your why. The big thing about this is if we go into auditions and we just say, oh yeah, like I'm auditioning because I've been dancing for 10 years and I now have to or want to go professional, so here I am. It's not quite the same level of motivation as if you take some time. So like if you didn't do yesterday's journaling activities, because sometimes we see things like that, we're like, I don't have time, or I don't feel like it. If you actually sit down and do it, odds are it's going to open up a whole new level of motivation for you as far as why you want to get a job this year. So I highly recommend going back and responding to those prompts if you've not yet. Defining your why, it's going to give you something to come back to when the time gets really tough, when you're facing rejections. That is something that I want you to be able to come back to and say, you know what, this is hard, but this is why I want to do it. These are the reasons why I'm pushing so hard towards this goal. This is why it means so much to me. So it can be a real source of inspiration when times get tough. And also just going into things from the start of an audition, I want you to be able to reflect back on what you've written in that day 2 challenge activity, why you're doing this, why it's this goal. And to say to yourself, okay, like maybe you're tired, maybe you're just not feeling it today. Maybe you don't feel great about your body. Maybe you feel like you're lacking in confidence. Why am I here? Why does this matter to me? Why am I going to push through and do my best and try to show up and display my talents to the best of my ability in this moment? Having that why written down can really support you in doing that. And like I said, showing up more powerfully in each and every audition. This is funny. This is the 3rd time my office has relocated in in the last year. And so like now we have a whole lot of background stuff. I hope you're not distracted by my home. My husband is a musician, so there's all kinds of music stuff going on. Okay, so back to that why. Define it, okay? Today's email will come out later today. It's New Year's Day, so I hope you're having some sort of celebration and like, again, maybe reflecting back on the year and things you've accomplished. But again, today's email is going to support you further in the mindset and confidence piece going into auditions. It will probably be more journaling, so I want you to make sure that you commit to taking the time to sit down and write some things. New Year's Day is a brilliant day to write these kinds of things down and like think about what do you want to see happen in a new year, what you want your next steps in your dance journey to be. So take the time and do it. If you guys have any questions throughout the challenge, you can always post them in the challenge group. Anyone is allowed to post there, and you can get advice from the other dancers who are in the group or from me. Or you can always send me an email. Like I said, jess@thewholedancer.com. Happy challenge day 3. Email coming out later on today. Happy New Year.